Hello folks, this is Mr. O'Brien, and in this video I'm going to be talking about The Power of Nonviolence by Dr. Martin Luther King. There is no headnote for this one, so I'm just going to go over where the answers are. There's only 3 questions. It's a pretty quick one. All right, so first question, what does King mean by agape love, and how does it shape his strategy for social change? And again, the word is pronounced agape. It's a Greek word. All right. And remember, we're still talking about the younger Dr. King. This is 1957. So this is, again, very shortly after the Montgomery bus boycott. And again, he's explaining to the public his nonviolent approach. So agape love basically means kind of this sacrificial love for all mankind in which you expect nothing in return. Not a platonic love for a friend or a romantic love for another human being. All right. And he explains this because this is how he's able to love someone even though they hate him. Basically, he's saying, I don't love the person. All right. I'm doing what I'm doing because I love mankind and I want it to improve. And I feel like nonviolence will lead to improvement opposed to retaliatory violence. Okay. So he has a longer-term view of humanity here. All right. But again, you would find it in the second paragraph here. All right. Eros is the Greek word. I mean, it means many things to different types of philosophers, but in Greek, Eros is like this romantic love. All right. Philia is kind of this brotherly love, like platonic love. But then you have agape, and it's right here. All right. Understanding, creative, redemptive goodwill for all men, all human beings. It is an overflowing love which seeks nothing in return. And when you come to love on this level, you begin to love men, not because they are likable, not because they do things that attract us, but because God loves them. And here we love the person who does the evil deed while hating the deed the person does. Again, so it helps him explain how he can turn the other cheek, because he has humanity in mind, his love for mankind. All right, let's get to the second question. All right, what does King say to aim his belief in nonviolent resistance to those who do not believe in a God? If you remember, he talked about the universe, having faith in the universe and it being on the side of justice, but it sounded kind of exclusive only to those who were religious. And I was going to be broadening that belief to be more secular, to appeal to not just Christians. Okay. So let's see, if you go down to the next section, some power in the universe that works for justice. Okay. He writes, I am quite aware of the fact that there are persons who believe firmly in nonviolence who do not believe in a personal God, but I think every person who believes in nonviolent resistance believes somehow that the universe is in some form is on the side of justice. And this was one of the things that kept the people together, the belief that the universe is on the side of justice. All right. Agape says you must go on with wise restraint and calm reasonableness, but you must keep on moving. Okay, so basically he's saying that the universe is always moving toward progress, towards justice, towards greater freedom. It doesn't take some blind faith to believe that. All right, that's the second question. All right, he's actually, one of his more well-known phrases is, the long arc of history always bends toward justice, but we must make it bend that way. All right, I would love for that to be in your final paper. So last question, how does King respond to those who counsel the movement, the civil rights movement, to pursue a policy of moderation, meaning slow down, you're asking for too much too quickly? All right, and this is when we get to the last paragraph here again. Agape, the desire to improve mankind, demands that you go on with wise restraint and calm reasonableness, but you must keep moving. You can't be stagnant. And that's what he's saying here. We have a great opportunity in America to build here a great nation, meaning we're not yet. A nation where all men live together as brothers and respect the dignity and worth of all human personality. But we must keep moving toward that goal. We must not slow up. That's one thing. That since I love mankind, I insist upon trying to make it better. All right, that's what a critical thinker, a critical philosopher does. A dialectical thinker. They look at the unfreedoms in society, the imperfections, and they try to criticize them into becoming perfect. All right. Now he goes on to say, third line down in that last paragraph, I know that some people are saying we must slow up. They are writing letters to the North, and they are appealing to white people of goodwill, and to the Negroes saying, slow up, you're pushing too fast. They are saying we must adopt a policy of moderation. Now here we have it, very good line. Now if moderation means moving on with wise restraint and calm reasonableness, then moderation is a great virtue that all men of goodwill must seek to achieve in this tense period of transition. But if moderation means slowing up in the move for justice and capitulating or giving in to the whims and caprices of the guardians of the deadening status quo, then moderation is a tragic vice which all men must condemn. We must continue to move on. All right, so it basically says, hey, if you mean a policy of moderation means wise restraint and calm reasonableness, hey, that's me. I'm all for it. But if you mean don't do anything or put the brakes on it, then no. That's not going to happen. King is also famous for saying, justice delayed is too often justice denied. And that's where this comes out of. I would also love for that to be in your final paper. All right, so that's the power of nonviolence.